You're listening to Texas Real Estate with Todd Tramonte, brought to you by the Patrick Glaros Mortgage Team, DP Lambert at Goosehead Insurance, and Stryker Roofing. And now your host, real estate broker, team leader, best-selling author, coach, consultant, and speaker, Todd Tramonte.
Welcome, folks. Welcome to the show. Hope your Christmas was fantastic. Got a really great week of celebrating and slowing down a little bit, but the market is not slowing down. We'll get you an update on what's happening here in DFW real estate on the residential side here any minute as we make our way through the show. We'll also take your questions. As always, you can call or text 214-310-0008. That's 214-310-0008. We are brought to you by Patrick Glaros and his team of mortgage professionals over at Cardinal Financial. You can always find them at patrickglaros.com. We'll take your questions today any way you like. Again, call or text 214-310-0008. Or anytime, day or night, you can always head over to the website, treradio.com. TRE is short for Texas Real Estate, treradio.com. Now, today will be a fun show. We'll talk about all sorts of things and people that you need to know when it comes to buying, selling, or, and this is a big or, simply owning and enjoying your home, right? It can be super overwhelming when you think about all of the people you would need to know in order to have the right person for everything related to your home. Heating, air conditioning, plumbing, roofing, windows, pest control, lawn care, pool maintenance, outdoor maintenance, indoor electric providers, solar, gutters, drainage. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on and on and on. Appliances, you could keep going. We're gonna kind of give you the magic key today to how to solve all that, but also talk about some really great folks and some shortcuts to taking care of the home you've already got, or to sort of resting and sleeping a little bit better when you're thinking about buying, certainly if you're in the process of selling and buying. So if you have questions today, 214-310-0008. And by all means, if you have real estate plans for 2021, if you're thinking at all about buying, selling, or investing in residential real estate in 2021, you got a couple of options. They all start at overunderagent.com. Head over to overunderagent.com, fill a form out. You can set up a time to talk or meet with one of our full-time dedicated expert realtors, or you can set up a free strategy session for just about any afternoon in January. We've dedicated nearly the entire month in the afternoons to sitting down for what we call a strategy session, just to chat with you about your real estate goals for the next year or so. There's no pressure. You don't have to sign anything if you're not ready to move forward on anything, but we can answer your questions and help you get some clarity about what's the best time to buy, what's the best time to sell, what would your home sell for, what budget would you need to buy what you're thinking about, what's the best area to buy in, what's the best area to invest in, who are the people you need to help you do that, and that'll be what we'll talk about a lot today. So overunderagent.com, we do guarantee to sell your home over the average price and under the average time. Our numbers for 2020 are almost all the way in. Still got a few more days left, but it's looking like our home sellers averaged, depending on what part of town, between 5 and 9% over the average area sales price. There's a few areas where it was most competitive. We were about 5.4% over what other agents were able to get sellers. And in some areas, we were as high as 8.9 or 9% over the average. And in just about every area, we were massively, significantly, fantastically under the average time. 10 and 12 days under the average time. Some areas, 2 or 3 times faster than the average. Okay. So if we can help you with anything, go to overunderagent.com. We do have a full studio. The new dad is back in studio. The young MG, Mason Goss, producer extraordinaire of all things audio visual, is with us and with a mic. Welcome back, Mason.
Thanks for having me. Man, God bless my wife.
That's right.
She is a trooper. Love her. Things have been going great. Everyone's healthy. Good to report on that front, and I'm glad to be back.
The sweet and kind and intelligent and brilliant and tolerant Ginny Goss is keeping. Are we saying baby names on the radio yet? Or taking care of sweet little Lucy?
Yeah.
And we're excited. The whole team's excited about baby Goss.
What's Lucy doing? Juggling, walking, handstands?
Had a conversation the other day with her. It was great.
Okay,
I mean,
She's into politics.
yeah, a little bit.
So congrats to Mason and Ginny, and welcome to the world, little Lucy. We're super excited. We've also got the English wonder himself, folks, the Yanni Donnie, Ian Daniels, in studio. What's up, Ian?
3 wins in a row, Todd.
Oh, my
Three in a row.
Up
3 in a
the
row,
burrow.
and not just that, 3 in a row, but we're into the playoff spots, and 3 of our next 4 games against bottom 4 teams. Oh, boy, this could be good.
The way you said that scares me. The way you said it makes me nervous.
Oh, I'm excited.
Up the Borough for now. Up the Borough, and that's your European English. We're not quite Premier League. What league is it?
Championship.
Champions League Soccer Minute.
It's probably my best Christmas gift this year, though.
It's pretty significant to say
Well, this
that.
time last year, we were just lackluster near the bottom of the league. And then we brought in the savior, not Jesus in this sense, but
Good check.
Neil Warnock
Good. Glad you caught
came
that.
in and rescued us, and now he's got us near the top. Up the
Look
borough.
at that. Up the Borough. And
2
and
minutes this
Neil
thing.
Warner. All right, folks, that's your European Soccer Minute. Hopefully it didn't last a whole minute. And we're going to get into the residential real estate stuff. So you can call or text questions or comments that you'd like us to address on the air. Or if you've got a question or a comment or a need that we can help you take care of off the air, 214-310-0008. Just save that phone number in your cell phone. You can call or text us anytime you need anything residential real estate related anywhere in North Texas. 214-310-0008 or always online at overunderagent.com. Now, we do have some questions coming in already, but we've also got a few topics we're going to cover. I'm going to let Ian take that away here in just a second. Before we do that, the year is almost over, but it's not over quite yet. If you haven't checked your property value lately, you need to do that over at valuethishouse.com. Find out what your home would sell for or rent for in less than 60 seconds. And I believe that in the current market we're in, you need to be doing that at least once a month. valuethishouse.com.
So one of the main topics that we want to get into today is really just understanding, hey, who do we call for all these different things? How do I even go about finding out all these things? We often say here on the show, like, go to the website if you need a vendor, or reach out to us if you need a vendor. But I think it goes like way beyond that too, because I know for me in my neighborhood, like, I want to be the guy in our neighborhood or within my friends that people can reach out to to say, hey, who do you know for this?
Yep.
Because they want somebody that's trusted. So, like, where do people even begin? Like, tell them the website, but
Sure.
like, how do people like just begin to establish like who's trustworthy?
Well, there's a couple things here, and trustworthy is a really, really important word here. I had a birthday party last week, and both of these guys were there.
Happy
And
birthday again.
Thank you. People were standing up and saying some really, really nice things, which was humbling and awkward, and I didn't know what to do in my chair. But all that to say, one of the things that people said, and it was kind of funny, is, you know, and Todd has a guy for everything. Todd has a person for everything. And it's funny because you say that. Some of us like to be the connector in our social circles. So if you're the kind of person that wants to be the connector in your social circle, lean into this conversation here. Don't tune out today. But then I would say even more so, if you're not that kind of person that wants to have a friend or a buddy or a person that can solve anyone's problems, if you don't want to have to remember all those people and maintain those relationships, even more so, you can lean on us for that. When you need a roofer, plumber, electrician, insurance person, heating and air conditioning person, you know, foundation, inspector, mortgage, you know, photographer, I could go on and on and on. What's that? Carpet cleaner, pest control, any of those things. Lean on us for that because of the trust factor that Ian was just mentioning. You Google someone and you hope you can trust them. You hope the reviews are reliable, or you can reach out to us or someone like us who's using these people weekly, daily, all year long, and has built a trusting relationship, or has disqualified some folks because they weren't trustworthy. So you can always start at treradio.com. TRE is short for Texas Real Estate. That's our radio show website where we have our recommended pros and our favorite, technical providers for all of these things. And you can use that website year round, day or night, whether you have used the Todd Tramonte home selling team or not. Now, there's a whole nother level of that. If you are a client or an advocate of the Todd Tramonte home selling team, we have what we call our raving fan club, right? That's for folks that are raving fans of our real estate brokerage and team. And so there's 20 or 30 or 40 other recommended providers. Now, we're happy to share those with anyone. Again, you can just call or text 214-310-0008. But if you're a past client or a current client or an advocate, someone who refers us business or works with us or, helps us in any other way, then we're not only going to answer your call when you need somebody, but we're oftentimes reaching out to you, telling you, hey, we've negotiated a favorable arrangement, front of the line service or a discount or a seasonal checkup at no cost, those kind of things. And it really, really is important for you to understand, you're either maintaining your property and its value well or not. You're either prepared to buy a home and take good care of it or not. You're either ready to sell your home or not. And a lot of times it has to do with being able to know the right people and trust them to help you maintain your home.
Well, and hopefully you trust the person which is telling you the people that you can trust too, right? So It was funny because over the summer we had some new neighbors move in and we were introducing ourselves and all that. But a part of my introduction was, hey, just so you know, I work in real estate and I don't want to be that annoying realtor person. I'm never going to be that person. But I also have a guy for pretty much everything, right? I know somebody that can do pretty much everything. And so if you ever need somebody, just let me know. Right. It's next day, he's like, hey, who do you know for this? Yep. Right. And it was just a short conversation, but making sure that I didn't come across as a realtor. Right. Because let's be honest, none of us want to be coming across as a realtor. And then that kind of built some trust immediately. And just want to make sure I'm referring good people.
Yeah, and to be clear, we are realtors, but the traditional stereotype of a realtor is, shoving their business card in your hand all the time and constantly hitting you up for business. And Ian's point is, at the Todd Tramonte home selling team, we don't want to operate that way. We want to lead with value. Yep. When you need valuable real estate leadership and advocacy and representation, by all means, we're here. We're here to help. You can go to overunderagent.com. But
we don't want to be the realtor that when somebody moves into a neighborhood, they burst through the door to find out who do you know.
Here's a basket of random stuff. Please send me all your friends.
Right.
But on the flip side of that, we are here obsessed with earning your trust and adding value way before or long after you actually need us to transact business with you where we might earn a commission. Right. So you may be in a home that you love and you have no intention of ever selling it or buying another one. We would still be thrilled to be a value add in your life. If you need a plumber, roofer, electrician, you need a question, some information to protest your property taxes, that sort of thing. And you can always go to overunderagent.com to do that. But let's get into some specifics.
Yep.
Let's say someone says, hey, I think some, wind or rain or hail came through and I'm really not sure who to call to get my roof or my gutter checked out, right? Well,
I've had 3 people come to the door since all that came through and those the people I can trust?
Well, right now I would tell you, reach out to Stryker Roofing, right? They've done roof work at my house, gutter work at my house. They've even done some outdoor construction work at my house. You can go to strykerbuilds.com, BUILDS, strykerbuilds.com. But I guess the bigger point we're making here today is even if you can't remember their name or if you can, if you always want to check who we are currently recommending for anything, you can go to treradio.com. You might be in an area for some reason that you need another name or a second opinion or whatever the case is. You can always go to treradio.com. You'll find Stryker there. You'll find a lot of other providers of other resources there. But, we certainly hope that we have earned your trust over the years. And if that is the case, then you can find people that we trust at treradio.com. I've had several friends, and most of our clients are friends, but after a storm like that, I'll get 15 or 20 text messages, as will our agents and staff, right? So the morning after a storm like that, we're typically working the phones. And a lot of times we will reach out to people that haven't even reached out to us yet and say, hey, looks like you guys were in the area where you had some damage. Call these folks right away and they'll put you in front of the line. That's the kind of benefit of being a client and a friend of the Todd Tramonte home selling team. But even if you're not yet a client or not ready or don't intend to ever be, you can always use treradio.com.
We had a question, and it does relate to who do we use, but the question was to do with kind of getting ready for next year.
Yep.
Kind of wrapping down this year, wanting to build. We've talked about outdoor kitchens before, but really kind of any electrical work. Like, when's the best time to do that? Because here in Texas, if we get ice storms and things like that, it's generally kind of February, right? So, when's the best time to do it? Do people do it now so they can enjoy it immediately, or should people wait a little bit longer?
Well, the good news with electrical work is it's pretty steady year round. So there's really not a huge high season or low season as far as availability of those providers. Now, I will say in the spring, spring cleaning, spring construction projects, people tend to hunker down for the winter. And then in the spring, construction, outdoor work, cleanup projects start to kind of build. So I would say that is the busiest time of the year. That's going to be the hardest time to schedule someone and the most costly. So I do think winter is a great time to do that. And Ian makes a great point about there's more sort of damage to repair and emergencies to fix in that late January to early March timeline. So if you've got some light electrical work you'd like done, late December, early January is a really, really good time to do that. Early in the fall, we've just kind of gone through a season where I love to get projects like that done in the fall because I actually spend as much or more time outside fall and early winter, or some years in Dallas all through the winter, out on the patio, around the fire pit, or, hot tub, that kind of deal. But the only time of year I would be careful is in spring. And it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it, but that's going to be the time where a lot of those providers are most busy and their billable rates might be kind of the highest, and they might take the longest to get them out there. But we've got a great provider of electrical work and also heating and air conditioning work. That's Reinhardt Service Company. They're a second generation family run business here in the DFW area. You can find their information over at treradio.com, just like everybody else. But Rodney Reinhardt runs that company. Really, really great guy. Been doing it literally his entire life. His parents started the business, and he's been taking great care of the Tramonte family at home. They've taken care of our office building and thousands of our clients over the years. And, funny enough, Patrick Glaros, our go-to mortgage provider, introduced me to Rodney probably 11 or 12 years ago. And we've sent him thousands of clients together over the years. You can find Reinhardt Service Company online at treradio.com with all of our other favorite professionals to introduce you to when it comes to taking good care of your house. I'll just make one more point real quick. Even if you don't own a home yet and you're thinking about buying, having access to these professionals will make your buying process infinitely more stress-free and enjoyable and less intimidating. Just to know, hey, if anything comes up, I know someone. I know a guy, I know a girl, I know a team. Now, I believe the best way to approach this is for you to know one person who knows all these other people, right? If you have a really great world-class real estate agent, they ought to be able to introduce you to the plumber, electrician, roofer, foundation company, inspector, appraiser, title company, surveyor, mortgage lender, carpet cleaner, pest control company, pool service, all of the above, right? Now, that's not a guarantee that every real estate agent can do that. As a matter of fact, most real estate agents are not going to have all of those relationships pre-negotiated, established, that kind of thing. And of course, you always have the freedom to choose whoever the heck you want. But knowing someone who's already done all that vetting for you and who's already had hundreds of clients test some of these people out, there's a lot of value there.
Make sure you go over to valuethishouse.com. Talking of valuethishouse.com, see what your home is going to be worth and see what it might rent for. You've only got a few days left of this year if you've not already been over there to do that. Valuethishouse.com. I actually didn't know that about Patrick introducing you to Rodney. Yep. That's pretty cool that that's done. And we've had Rodney over to our place, I think 2 or 3 times this year, just to do some electrical work and just to add a couple of outlets here and there. Super affordable, super reliable, and just honest working, nice guys.
Yep. Rodney solved a major electrical problem for a very good friend of ours. They're doing a remodel and it didn't pass code, and they came in and saved him from some major safety stuff.
Speaking of value, I saw a commercial this week, staying at home, hanging out with the baby and hanging out with my wife. And it was about looking for homes online, and it was one of the big box sites. Of course, we've all heard of it. And it talked about, this is the most up-to-date and accurate information. And I go, that's
no, it's not.
No, it's not. If you want to get up-to-date, accurate information about homes in your area, in your price point, go to overunderagent.com. It's going to be great for you. Those big box sites pull data can be weeks old. So, these houses that are flying off the market, you can be looking at houses that have been gone for weeks. So you need to make sure you get the most up-to-date information. Go to overunderagent.com.
Apparently Mason was plotting how to get more airtime while he was off last week. I like it.
He did well.
Yeah.
Well, and the point you're making is that a local real estate agent feed on a good technology platform is always your best bet. Truth be told, even if you don't use our website, use a local real estate provider's site. Now, I believe ours is the best in the market. Ours updates from the MLS database every 15 minutes. The truth is, it doesn't even get new data every time. Right. It updates so quickly that sometimes the local provider isn't even sending us information that quick. You cannot get more accurate local real estate search, meaning you can't search houses more accurately in Dallas, Fort Worth, or surrounding communities any more accurately than you can at overunderagent.com.
It is one of the most annoying things when somebody will reach out to us and say, hey, can you tell me the status of what this particular home is?
Right.
And then we go look on our website and it's like, it's sold 6 months ago.
The problem is they usually don't ask it that way, right? They're like, I want to go see this property, and it's not showing up on your website. And you're like, well, it's not available. They're like, yes, it is. It's over here on blah, blah, blah website. It shows it right now. And you're like, okay, I know this is hard to believe. That massive national company has a super unreliable website. You can't trust that one. You need to stick with the local one. And it frustrates people, right? They're like, I want to buy that house. You're like, well, that house was never for sale. It was for lease, and at least 90 days ago, right?
Your site's wrong.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame them for thinking that. They're like, this website is 1,000 times bigger than yours, and it's a company I know better. Well, that's not always a good thing. So anyway, you can search homes all over North Texas by any real estate agent with any real estate company, anytime, day or night, at overunderagent.com. You can also get more information on how we guarantee to sell your home over the average price and under the average time at overunderagent.com. And we guarantee to save buyers money as well. Overunderagent.com. We'll be back right after the break.
Welcome back to Texas Real Estate with your host, real estate expert, team leader, and best-selling author, Todd Tramonte.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. Save this phone number in your cell phone, 214-310-0008. That's 214-310-0008. Anytime you need anything related to residential real estate, buying a home, selling a home, protesting your property taxes, investing in a home, vendor referral, roofer, plumber, electrician, mortgage lender, insurance agent, any of those things, you can call or text 214-310-0008, or you can always go online to overunderagent.com, overunderagent.com. We've been talking in the show about how crazy it is as a buyer, seller, or homeowner to try to know and know someone you can trust in every category that you would need to appropriately own a home, buy a home, or sell a home, right? We've probably all had this experience where you have a friend who specializes in something, and they tell you about all the things you don't know and all the things you should know about that thing, right? You have someone who sells tankless hot water heaters, right? And it's like, oh my gosh, you got to have the right fitting, and you have the right gas connection. It'll save you this and save you that. And you're like, man, how am I, as a homeowner, how am I supposed to know all that? How am I supposed to know that I'm supposed to flush that filter once a year and change out that fitting every 5 years and reset the temperature reading every 6 months? Like, there's no way I'm going to do that, because I have to do that on the hot water heater, on the pipes under the sink, on the heater, on the air conditioner, on the, washer, dryer, dishwasher, there's 1,000 things. There's no way I'm going to remember all the right things on all the things.
Well, not everybody can know as much as I do, Todd.
Well, congratulations on that.
Yep.
The point I'm making is the best case scenario that I know of is for you to know one or two people that can help get you to all of those experts, and allow the experts to do what experts do and help lead you, guide you, or take care of you in all of those areas. The best way I know to do that is to provide recommendations to people that we are meeting with, pre-screening, and getting, feedback on all day, every day, all year, every year. You can find most of that at treradio.com. That's TRE, short for Texas Real Estate. treradio.com can be the place that allows you not to have to Google search every single thing you need on your house, and not to have to just hope that the person you find is actually trustworthy, right? You can reach out to us and say, look, here's my problem. Here's how I'd like to solve it. Do you know anybody that does that kind of work? There's probably a 90% chance we already do, and we've used that person, or our clients have used that person many times. And there's about a 10% chance we don't, and we will now help you find someone, pre-screen them, find someone that someone else has recommended, that lots of other people have recommended, and make your life easier. Most of that starts at treradio.com. And if you can't find it there for any reason, you can always call or text treradio.com, or feel free to click on Contact Us at the treradio.com website. Or, of course, if all else fails and you ever need help real estate related, it all boils down to as easy as going to overunderagent.com and just letting us know what you need and how we can help.
I've got a question that we're going to get to in just a little bit. And then later on, I've got a really cool story for you of something that happened over the past week. But before that, I just want to remind everybody about valuethishouse.com, where you can go and you can find out what your home is going to be worth, what it might rent for. It's going to give you monthly updates if there's price changes. It's really, really important in our minds that you know what your home is worth. It opens up the idea of, should we sell, should we stay, should we rent? Why? What do we want to do with it? Property tax season's coming up, where we're going to be able to help you fight, if you want to, what your home is being appraised at. It's a really, really great tool, valuethishouse.com. Now, that's all really well and good that you're talking about all these great people that we can recommend, they can come out and they can help out with all these different odd jobs. But there's a ton of folks out there that just had really bad experiences with all sorts of different vendors. Mm-hmm. So, two-part question. Part one is, what does somebody do in that situation? Is there ways that they can try and get their money back? Or, like, how does somebody go about even beginning that? And then secondly, if we was to recommend somebody to come in, is it an easy fix for our guys to come in there and do some work to it? I know that's a really hard question because it depends on the work.
Yep.
But, is that still something that they can come in and do, is to try and rectify somebody else's mistake?
Unfortunately, that happens a lot. We get a lot of calls on the radio show, especially about, hey, I'm really not happy in my current situation. Whether that's current realtor, plumber, roofer, electrician, remodeler, fence company, whatever, that happens a lot, right? Having a bad experience is a great motivator to have a good experience, right? So, number one, if you're in a situation right now that's a mess, feel free to call us. Now, there are times, certainly if it goes to the point of legal matters, that we are no longer able to be your direct response to solve that. But we could point you towards some legal help that can take really good care of you. We recommend Andrew Gore for a lot of those things. He's actually going to be on the show with us sometime early in the new year and talk about some updates to the laws here in Texas in and around real estate. He's going to talk with us a little bit about the probate process because, unfortunately, during our lifetimes, many of us, if not most of us, will be in a scenario where someone we love has passed away, and there's a home or property that needs to be dealt with, and that can be really overwhelming. So Andrew's going to talk us through that probably sometime in January.
We're actually meeting with Andrew. My wife and I are going to meet with Andrew the first week of January to do some trust stuff and
estate planning type stuff. Yeah, and we've done all of our stuff with him as well. He's great for that. So Andrew Gore, if you need his information, just reach out to us as well. We'll be happy to pass that on to you. You can just go to overunderagent.com and let us know. Would love some info on your estate, real estate, legal person. But my point there is, yes, our recommended, favorite professionals do this stuff all the time. We get people who are flipping houses and they're like, hey, my contractor took off on me, not only took off, but stole a bunch of material or, took a check and didn't show up and do the work. So yes, if you're in that situation, we can't always go, help you get your money back, but we can certainly help you get the job finished and get the right professionals in there. So if that's the case, go to overunderagent.com and give us a little bit of detail in the comments section of what you're dealing with. But the sad thing is how risky it is sometimes to just go with someone from the phone book or go with someone whose sign you saw in a yard or, Google reviews are pretty good. But even in that situation, go with someone that you have no personal connection to or recommendation with. And that's where we're trying to fill that void for a lot of people. Now, we're not telling anyone what to do, but we're almost every day telling folks, hey, a lot of our clients have had success with this person. Hey, we've used this person for years and years and years, and it's almost always a perfectly good experience. And even when there's mistakes, they stand behind their work and they do the right thing. So nobody's perfect. Things happen. But if you're asking us for a recommendation, we're going to introduce you to or help you find someone that there's a very, very high likelihood of great work and integrity around that work. In Fort Worth, we get a lot of questions about kitchens and bathrooms, and we point a lot of people to Fine Point Homes. FinePointHomes.com is Alan Littenberg and his crew that, specialize in kitchens and bathrooms. They don't want to be the cheapest, but they want to do really, really good work, right? If you're on the Dallas-Fort Worth side, there's several people that we would recommend to you depending on where you are and what you need, A
lot of these people that you've mentioned, like Reinhardt's and Stryker, are they going to go the entire Metroplex, or are they specific to one side of town?
Some of them will cover the whole Metroplex. Stryker Roofing will cover the whole Metroplex. They have local Fort Worth providers, local Dallas providers. They are a company primarily based in the McKinney area, but they have the trucks, the crews, the people to cover the whole area legitimately, right? You're not getting a guy who lives in Plano driving out to Fort Worth. You're getting representatives that live in Fort Worth serving that area. There's other providers where we might have someone we recommend on the like Fine Point Homes, right? They do kitchens and bathrooms on the Fort Worth side of the Metroplex. We've got other folks that would do that kind of work over on the Dallas side of the Metroplex. So we'll do our very best to get you the very best person for the job.
For somebody that has a home warranty that has maybe worked with us, or anyone out there that's listening that bought a home recently that has a home warranty, should they call that home warranty company first, or should they call somebody else first?
If you've got a warranty, the warranty company should almost always be your first call. Now, we have clients that will call us first almost every time, and I think that's wise, right? There are scenarios where you want to be careful not to abuse the privilege of the home warranty or cost yourself any time, that kind of thing. But if you've got a home warranty, typically that should be your first call to a vendor, right? And they will send out their preferred vendors that are part of the warranty program. For example, if you have an air conditioning problem and you have a home warranty and you go call some warranty company out of the phone book, then the warranty's not going to cover it because they don't have an arrangement with the person you called.
Right.
They will send out their in-house. By the way, if you're interested in a home warranty, we absolutely love Julie Jones over at Nations Home Warranty, which is a local home warranty company that's been in business forever. We've been working with them for over 12 years now. You can find them online at home-warranty.com. Home-warranty.com. We're big believers in home warranties. They don't solve the world's problem. They're not perfect, but we think especially the first year or two that you're in a home warranty is a really great resource to have. And I've argued on radio with several, especially Jim Dutton over at Texas Home Improvement Show. Great guy, great show, by the way. And we've argued for years because he is an uber handy hands-on contractor. And he's like, I would never use them because I can do it myself. Well, that's great, but most people aren't. And most of us would sleep a little bit better the first year or two in a new home, even a home that's just new to us, knowing that we can make that one phone call and have someone pop right out for $50 and solve that problem. That's what home warranties do. Check out Nation's Home Warranty over at home-warranty.com.
I am not the uber handy guy around the house. I had a friend text me literally this last weekend and just say, hey, do you have a small saw or axe that I could borrow? And I said, you don't know me so well.
Nope. Now, for past clients of ours, members of our Raving Fan Club, we do have tons of tools and resources that they can borrow specifically for our current and past clients.
Chainsaw?
Not a chainsaw. I was about to get to that. We're very careful with saws and things that can cut people's arms and hands off. We want to be real careful. But we have tons of other resources that folks can borrow.
Now, I know we've answered this question before, but I do think it's a question that is honestly confusing for a lot of people on home warranties. After that first year, should you renew it?
Well,
how about year 3 or year 4? Like, at what point do you stop having the home warranty, or do you just keep it going?
So, if investing somewhere in the ballpark, let's say under $1,000 per year to sleep better at night, knowing that if one of the basic systems in your home has a problem, you can just call the home warranty company. They'll send out their pro. All you have to pay is a little trip fee, copay type deal. It's like $60, and they take care of it. If that's attractive to you, if you're the kind of person where that's more valuable than finding the right professional or trying to do it yourself, then you should renew. And there's a lot of people that are that way, right? There's other people that are more hands-on that might not need it the 3rd or 4th year into owning a home. So that's a case-by-case scenario. But
I'm not handy at all, but we've only ever kept it for 1 year. So yeah. I just had no idea.
I recommend a lot of people do keep it into the future, because the problem is a lot of people aren't going to call anyone on a lot of these things, right? They're like, it's working fine. Something's not right, but it's fine for now. And so they wait, and then it becomes a $4,000 or $5,000 problem instead of a $65 visit and, $600 or $700 a year. I just don't know very many people that own a home that don't end up having $600 or $700 a year in maintenance, right?
Sure.
And so I think it's worth it unless you are super handy or super connected to a lot of these vendors. Now, we're happy to be your connection to that. But if you have a home warranty and you would sleep better at night knowing you can make that one phone call, that's the kind of person that should have that.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, right? We're talking a lot about building relationships with people, and I'm literally sat here in the studio looking at one of our core values, which is build relationships you'd be proud to tell your grandchildren about. It's a really fun thing that we get to do here, and sometimes we just sit back and reflect on the job that we have, right? You as an owner, me as an employee, Mason as an employee. But just the fact that we get to have really good fun doing this while building these relationships with vendors and with clients and with friends and family, it's a really, really awesome thing to do. And something that happened recently was Leah on our team out there in Fort Worth. She had built a relationship with another agent to where, remember, this is a market where multiple offers are common, right? But she had built a relationship with somebody where as soon as that house was about to go live, Leah was informed that, hey, this house is about to go on the market. And Leah was able to get in there and give a great offer and get it under contract for her clients, all because of the relationship that she had built prior to that. It's just a really cool story for her and her clients.
Huge win for her client in a market where their budget and their geography dictated just there's not a lot of choices.
Right.
They're flying off the market at top dollar.
It was a coming soon house, and I think Leah had said, like, hey, as soon as you're going to go live, let us know because we want to get in there.
And a lot of agents, as simple as that sounds, they don't make that call.
No.
They wait for it to hit that list, or they wait for their client to find it on their own list. And then by the time they get out there, they're third, fourth, fifth in line.
Yep.
And Leah was proactive in building relationships and being strategic and knowing exactly when she could be the first one out there and get that, totally ethical, totally above board, everything done right, but going the extra mile for her client so that her client could get a great house first in line without having to beat out 27 other offers.
Well, she knew what it was that her clients wanted. On a coaching call this past week in the consulting world that we have a business, and we were talking with a lot of other agents, and there was a number of questions that was coming up to do with, I think somebody had asked the question, like, how do we get somebody to buy instead of rent? Mm-hmm. And it was like, well, that's not the right approach, right? It's like you need to sit down with somebody and fully understand what's in their best interest, what it is that they're looking for. And that's what Leah did. Yep. Leah sat down with her clients and understood exactly what it was, so that when Leah saw this coming soon, she was like, that's the house for them. And I know that's the house for them.
If that's the kind of real estate agent and real estate brokerage team that you're looking for to make a purchase or a sale or an investment in 2021, I want you to go right now to overunderagent.com, overunderagent.com, and we'll get you connected with the appropriate team member, the best full-time dedicated world-class expert we can find for you. That might be Leah. That might be Mari. That might be Brandon. That might be Ryan or David or John or Jeremy. We'll get you connected with the exact person whose expertise and skill set and experience are perfectly aligned with your needs so that you can have an incredible success story just like the one we just told. Head over to overunderagent.com right now if you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing in residential real estate in North Texas anytime during 2021. Or call or text. Save this phone number in your phone and call or text 214-310-0008. We are offering 100% free, no commitment required conversations. We call it a strategy session. Almost every afternoon in January, we'll buy you a cup of coffee or a Coke or whatever, sit on a Zoom call, sit here in the office, and we'll just talk through what is it that you're wanting to achieve this year? What are your goals? Are you trying to increase cash flow? Are you trying to buy a home for the first time? Are you trying to sell a home and downsize? Are you trying to sell a home and buy a bigger home? Do you want to get on the golf course? Do you want to get a swimming pool? Do you want to get out in the country a little bit? Do you want something bigger? Do you want more land? What is it that you're trying to achieve? No rush, no pressure, just a strategy session, free conversation in January. And then we might decide, okay, the best time to do that is next year. The best time to do that is summer. The best time to do that is next fall. Or the best time to do that is right away. Whatever is best for you is fine for us. We'll have a cup of coffee or a Coke or sit together on a Zoom call or on the phone and discover what's best for you. And then we will help you put together a game plan to achieve that in the most strategic, the most advantageous, the most fun, and of course, during a timeline that's best for you. Head over to overunderagent.com right now. We'll get one of those set up for you one afternoon in January with no pressure and no commitment required.
I want to add one thing. A lot of people have called our office saying, hey, I'm moving from this place.
Yep.
A lot of Californians, a lot of New Yorkers, a lot of places in between. And if you know anyone, this show is a lot of local Texans, right? Not a lot of people in California are going to be able to listen to this show.
Right.
But if you know any friends, family members that are moving from those areas and want to connect with a real estate team that has people who have moved from those areas, we have people that have moved from California to come here, and we have people who have lived here their whole lives, and so they know the area really well and are going to be able to connect people and get people into the house that they need. Right? Just like you're saying.
The theme of this show has really been about connections and resources. And there's a really great place that you can go to. You can direct people to Mason's point, tthst.tv. It's our YouTube channel. There are hundreds, and that's not an exaggeration. Hundreds, the thousands, or we're just in the hundreds? Hundreds, okay. Hundreds of videos.
Millions of, no, I'm kidding.
But hundreds of videos that are on all sorts of topics. For people that are moving in from out of state, there's videos on all different cities in and around this area. Honestly, if you live here, there's still a really great resource for you.
That's a big
so
point.
that you can see.
Yep.
How many impressions, how many people watched videos last year, Mason?
We had 2 million impressions last year. We had over 200,000 views on our channel, which is up over 100% from the year before. So
look, the whole reason I'm telling you this is because we want you to really fully understand that we do this because we want to help you. Right? We want to be a resource. We don't want to be the realtor that comes in and does the transaction and then goes and we're done and we leave. Like that's just not the game we want to play. We want to build that relationship with you, and we want it to be something that lasts for a long time.
Right. So if you need the name or the phone number of a great vendor, go to treradio.com. If you'd like an introduction, if you'd like context, if you'd like that concierge service, go online to overunderagent.com. Let us know what you need and how we can help. Or, as always, save this phone number. You can call or text 214-310-0008. You can call right now, 214-310-0008. Or you can call or text anytime throughout the week, not when we're not even on air, 214-310-0008 for any residential real estate help at all. Even if you're moving to another state from here, we would be happy to make the calls to agents and brokers that we know and we trust all over the country and get you introduced and get you connected so that you can be in good hands when you move to other parts of the country. 214-310-0008 or overunderagent.com.
And if you want a home valuation, go to valuethishouse.com. If you are happy with the automated valuation, great. If you want something more customized, specific to your home, reply to the email, shoot us a text, let us know, give us a call, and we will schedule a time with you in January that we can sit down and begin to give you more and more information.
Let me just wrap up real quick with a big announcement. If you're thinking about making any decisions related to real estate in 2021, I want you to go to overunderagent.com and just let us know what you're doing, right? We can add value for you in a lot of different ways, even if we're not your agent and broker. Go to overunderagent.com and in the comments, just let us know, hey, this year I'm buying 2 more investment properties. This year we're going to upsize. This year we're going to downsize. This year I'm moving to Hawaii. This year I'm going to rent for another year and then get ready. Overunderagent.com. That's overunderagent.com. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We'll be back next Saturday at 3 p.m. with more Texas real estate right here on WBAP.